gentlemen, pay attention for Nick Hanopoulos representing Team Bright Solar.
Are you ready for more startup stuff? Okay, let's go with Bright Solar. According to the latest UN Economic Forum report, the world population will increase to 9 billion by 2050. That's a lot of people. In order to feed these people at today's nutritional levels, where, by the way, and very unfortunately, 700 million people are malnourished, we have to increase food production by 85%. That's a monumental task that will put tremendous pressure on the planet's resources in two main areas. One is energy, because agriculture accounts for 14% of the world's energy consumption, and most of it is based on fossil fuels. So imagine now, with the price of gas going up and down, what that will do to the agriculture, and also what will do to the environment if we need to multiply that by some number. The second resource, and probably the most important resource, is water consumption. As you heard in a previous speech, water is a critical factor in the survival of the planet. So what do we need to do? What we do always as human species, we use technology to solve critical problems. And the technology is available to us. It's controlled environment agriculture through greenhouse farming. Research published this year by Arizona State University shows that the yield in producing crops in a greenhouse is 10 times X than in-ground farming. Not only that, but the water consumption is 10 times less. So these are great news. However, as you very well know, nothing comes for free in this life, and the cost you expend in order to achieve those two very important numbers is energy cost. Greenhouse farming uses 10 times the energy in order to produce crops than in-ground farming. So the question becomes, how do you feed all these people using technology that requires so much energy, both in terms of cost for supplying the energy, but also in terms of environmental impact? That's the mission of our company. To solve the 28% operational cost in a greenhouse, which is energy cost. So we have developed nanomaterials which we deposit in a unique way on a glass in order to produce transparent solar glass, 70% transparent. Why is that critical? Because if it's less than 70% transparent, then the greenhouse cannot operate because the plants need light in order to photosynthesize, and the threshold is 70%. So we produce 70% transparent solar glass, and that glass generates energy, which we try to make sure that this energy neutralizes the energy bill of the greenhouse. We run a pilot project in Greece on the premises of the Greek Agricultural Research Institute, where we built 2 greenhouses, 100 square meters each, one with solar glass, one with regular glass. The first results are really encouraging because you get comparable yield. They cultivated hydroponic tomatoes, by the way. Tomatoes are very popular in Greece, also in Holland. And the yield was comparable. the weight was comparable, and the nutrients in the solar greenhouse were better. However, there was a new cash crop, and that was energy. The equivalent energy generated by the greenhouse was 5,400 kilowatt hours. If you sell that energy to the grid based on the solar program available in Greece or the prevailing electricity prices, then that amounts to 486 euro per year. That's a small structure. Our technology is not unique to us. Other companies are pursuing the same technology, and some of them marquee companies. However, we have some distinct advantages. First of all, we are using inkjet printing for material deposition. We are the only company in the world that does that. That gives us the ability to do very thin films and therefore achieve 70% transparency. Everybody else is using screen printing. Screen printing will do films 50% transparent or less, therefore no applicability to greenhouses. Our electrolyte, which is one piece of material necessary in order to build the solar cell, is solid. That has profound long-term reliability effects while the competition is using liquid. So imagine a liquid between two pieces of glass operating in diverse environmental conditions in terms of temperature and humidity and stuff like that. And as I already mentioned, we are using inkjet printing while everybody else is using screen printing. Our technology is patented. We have a patent issued in Holland, and we have 2 patents pending in the US and 2 patents pending in China. We are addressing a market that is fairly sizable. Total available market around $20 billion, and the red countries in the world are the major greenhouse manufacturing and operating countries, and you can see that Holland is one of those. However, Holland is also a very significant country in this area. Why? Because in terms of high technology greenhouses, both in manufacturing, Holland is #1 in the world, in operating, #1 in Europe. Of course, you guys don't have a lot of land, so otherwise you would have been probably worldwide leader in this area. In fact, the reason we transferred our company and now we are headquartered in Holland is because Holland has this characteristic in greenhouse manufacturing and operation. Our business model, we will license our technology to glass manufacturers, and we collect a licensing fee plus a royalty per square meters of glass produced. They will sell to the greenhouse manufacturers. We also have an agreement with them to offtake part of the production and then sell to the end customer for either new greenhouses or retrofit projects, existing greenhouses, but they want to change the glass and incorporate solar glass in order to have energy sales and therefore the new cash crop I indicated. If you go to our website, you will see a very cool tool. It's called Bright Green Designer. That tool allows anybody to locate a greenhouse any place in the world, indicate how many square meters of glass is used in the greenhouse, and then get a very detailed design for the solar system of the greenhouse and detailed financial analysis for the investment in the solar glass and the return on investment. We have customer traction with glass manufacturers, greenhouse manufacturers, and greenhouse operators. This list is not inclusive, it's indicative. 80% of what you see in this list has signed a letter of intent to work with us. However, we go one step further because we have already signed our first licensee, a greenhouse manufacturer in China with a very interesting business model, and a greenhouse operator in Greece who will take delivery of 100,000 square meters of glass by the end of 2016. Now, the question I get in talking to people is, okay, greenhouse operators are very sensitive to cost. If they go to the bank because the IRR in cultivating tomatoes and other crops is very small, if they go to the bank and they say, okay, now my greenhouse costs a little bit more because I'm using this solar glass, the bank might say, no, you cannot do it. So we are talking to the bank to make sure that our product is a bankable product. And what is the best bank to talk to in Holland? Rabobank, because these guys finance probably 90% of agriculture in this country. And the leader of Rabobank in Venlo, that's what he has to say about us. He believes that our technology is an innovation that helps or even goes towards guaranteeing sustainability in this area. We have a veteran management team. Collectively, we are approaching 100 years of professional experience. The first 3 people in the team have done startup companies before, and they also had successful exits before. They also worked in Fortune 500 companies running company divisions with P&L responsibility. So we have a pretty good experience in running this stuff. In addition, in our fully equipped lab in Greece, we have a staff of very talented material engineer people, and our entire team is about 12 people at this moment. How our roadmap looks like that. We have our first customer, our first booked customer. We plan to do a pilot line with a glass manufacturer, a small glass manufacturer in Greece. We have already signed that agreement so that we can prove the production throughput and yields, and then provide quantities of glass to pilot projects, to customers that we have traction with, that they are going to do in different parts of the world, Holland included. We go to full-scale development in 2017, and then we position the company for an exit in 2019. An exit through either an acquisition or an IPO. Therefore, if you decide to invest in our company, we are thinking about the investor and how the investor will exit their investment. So what we are looking for? We're looking for an equity investment of $1.5 million. The company has already been invested at 2.8 million of combined capital, founders capital and R&D contract capital. So we are looking for 1.5 million to scale primarily through the pilot line. We're looking for manufacturing partners. These are our direct customers. And of course, business partners, which is distributors, sales outlets, and stuff like that. Now, you are 1,000 people here, and not everybody is an institutional investor. But if you like the story, then you can really take part in our fundraising by going through Live Funder. Our Live Funder campaign for a convertible note of 200,000 started yesterday. The minimum investment is 2,500 euro. Therefore, anybody who likes to be a bright shareholder and they like our story, they can do it really easily through Live Funder. Thank you very much.